How we doing, people? Welcome back to 10/10 Reviews. Today we have a 2022 Porsche Macan base model with the Premium Package Plus from Manhattan Motor Cars. Not too much new for 2022. A couple of things on the exterior, such as these panels, which are on the front, the side, and the back, which have a bit of a triangular texture, perhaps diamond even. We have the PDLS Plus lights right here with the Porsche design logo looking real clean. Move over to the side over here, we can see our 21-inch 911 turbo wheels with 13.6-inch rotors. We have a little bit more of this new textured paneling over here on the side. Our car has about a 110.5-inch length for the wheelbase, and the actual car length is 186 inches, with a car height of 63.8 inches with the roof rack. And this car is coming in just around 4,150 pounds. We have a little bit new of a Ba-Donqa-Donq down here for 2022 with more of that paneling that you can see. You might be asking yourself, where is the power liftgate button? Well, it's actually hidden right here in the windshield wiper. It opens up to reveal 17.2 cubic feet of space, but if you put the seats down, you get 53. But I can't actually get to the levers to put them down because it's covered by this. Now, if you want to close it, all you have to do is click this, but if you want to close it and lock it and walk away, you can click that. And under the hood of this 2022 base model Macan, we have a 2-liter inline 4 turbo, putting out 261 horsepower, 296 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 7-speed automatic in the form of a dual-clutch PDK with rear-wheel drive bias all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 is around 5.5 with gas mileage around 21 combined. You get 300 miles out of this and 17.1 gallons in the full tank. And what's really cool is that you have these hood scoops that go right over there due to legal regulation. Of course, another great feature is that you can actually rev it all the way to red line, even when you're parked. And I'm going to go ahead and try out the launch control for you here. First thing you want to do, left foot on the brake, put it in drive, sport, traction control off, manual mode on, gas and brake, let go. Woo. Woo. Well, ain't that just a doozy? Whew. That was awesome. And over here we have our Porsche key with our unlock, our lock, tailgate for the rear, and a panic button. Now moving on to the rear door here, we can see we have soft injected molded plastic, aluminum or aluminum-like plastic, piano black, aluminum or aluminum-like plastic, a one-touch window, which is very nice. You don't really get that in a lot of cars. A little cubby back here, and our Bose audio system. Now looking into the back seat here, you can already see it is not the most spacious. Porsche actually will not release a figure. Now, I've looked high and low on the interwebs for anything that says how big this rear leg space is. Porsche doesn't say, the internet doesn't say, the forums don't say. But luckily, I brought my handy dandy tape measure. You ain't gonna catch me slipping today, Porsche. So the first thing that we did was we put this all the way forward and tilted it all the way forward. Next thing we have to do is measure the space from the back here to the front here, which comes in as 17 inches. But that's not the reported space. The reported space actually goes on a diagonal, which is just about 23 inches, which is not big, which does not surprise me that they did not report it. What a lovely cabin. Such a nice place to be. Let's get right into our HVAC. We have our open close. We have our temperature rocker, which, while it doesn't show the exact temperature, responds very quickly. We have our moving controls with this nice knurled texture right here, up, down, side, side. We have heated seats, and we even have 2 USB-Cs. And the back seat is not the most spacious thing. There's not too much room back here. But if I'm sitting behind myself at 5'6", it's actually not so bad. We have a seat back pocket right here. No padding really, not that mushy, but a nice leather material. Over here we have our armrest, which has cup holders in the middle. I don't know how great that'll actually be in use when there's actually cups in there, but for now it is very comfortable, super squishy dushy. Absolutely love that. And you would think that there's no rear access here, but there is. You squeeze this little thing right here, and you can get straight to your trunk. We have an incandescent light over here. Nice grab handle, plastic, a hook, some other kind of hook, a hook. If you want it, kind of a hook. Not really though. Moving over to our front door panel, we seem to have the same materials basically. We have our lock unlock, we have our memory seating, we have our mirror configuration, we have our one touch for all windows, we have our child lock, we have our trunk open. And one cool thing about these mirrors is that they're almost like a BMW M car. They have these amazing slots right here that I think look just so good. We have our power seats with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 way adjustments with lumbar. And what I do love is that we have this thigh rest, which for the long journeys can make a big deal. Really nice leather wrapped premium steering wheel. We have these cutouts over here. We have another cutout. We have our voice for Porsche, as well as our voice for Siri.
Siri requires an internet connection.
Of course you do. We have our fast forward. We have our volume rocker, which is this nice rubberized knurled texture. We have our manual mode for driving. Over here we have our call, our back. This allows you to go within your digital gauge cluster, which is a hybrid digital gauge cluster, and you can scroll within that as well. Over here we have our adaptive cruise control stock. We have our blinker stock, and we have our windshield wiper stock. And we have these nice metallic paddle shifters with indentations. Feels real fancy. No plastic over here. And we have our Porsche logo, finally. The digital gauge cluster is hybrid, so you have vehicle information, you have audio from Apple CarPlay, phone from Apple CarPlay, maps, navigation to your last destination, trip information, tire pressure monitoring system, torque split, and adaptive cruise control. And moving over here, we have our Porsche styled clock. Little thing, but it goes a long way. Our glove compartment, which does not slam down, it's well damped and can hold a decent amount. No driver's side compartment. It's flush down here. And then we have our overhead controls. We have our LED. These are for the lights in the back. This is for the above if you'd like it on in an ambient muted setting. This is for our parking assist on or off. Over here we have our bright mode. This controls whether it's on or off when the door is open. As you can see, it's off, but then you turn it on, and it stays on when the door is open. Over here, we're able to control our sunroof. We can open it fully. We can do the slit as well for a little bit of ventilation. This controls our shade, and you could stop it at any point, which is a really nice feature. See? Put it all the way back. Over here is our other LED, and our garage controls. We have our infotainment, which is refreshed for 2022. As you can see, nobody is signed in, but this is a connected car if that's your thing. You have voice control, which is okay because there are actual buttons as well as capacitive touch. You have your nav, which you'll probably never use because of CarPlay. We have your media, which you'll probably never use because of CarPlay, but if you do like to set your satellite favorites on XM, you can do that. We have your phone, which you'll probably never use because of CarPlay. Then we have some car things, such as vehicle settings. You can set your locking info, your light and visibility info. We have high beam assist, which is awesome. wiper stuff, our climate and heating. Cool. And our Porsche Active Safe stuff. I do say Porsche. You can say Porsche if you want. I don't care. We have gas station proximity stuff, which is very nice as well. I know that when I'm in a bind and I don't know where I am, that comes in handy, even though CarPlay can do that as well. Hotel lodging stuff, parking stuff, restaurant stuff, all of that. We have our CarPlay, which is wireless as well as ported. We have our sound settings as well. You can control where it is in the car. You can drag that around. You have your equalizer as well. You have your Bose system settings. Very cool. And it sounds very good. No highs, no lows, must be Bose. But this one's actually pretty decent. You have your forward and seek track, which are capacitive. You have a nice volume rocker, which is metallic and knurled. You have a back button. And you can navigate around the system using this if you like as well. And our option. We have some of our HVAC settings over here, as you can see. We can set our temperature using this really nice knurled clicker, rocker. Set our fan speed, dual zone climate control. You can set what area you'd like it to blow on, or auto if you'd like to sync. We have heated seats, ventilated seats, all that stuff. Ooh, I like the clickiness. We have our sport. We have our traction control off, which you have to hold. Just like that. Not to turn off though. We have our off-road mode. We have our hill descent mode. We have our lane change assist, which is lane keep assist, but that's Porsche's terminology. We have our auto on start stop for the engine if you want to save some MPG. We also have our electronic parking brake. You get a rubbery tray over here that can hold things. You have a small cup holder, a big cup holder, and these click in to accommodate different sizes. Then you have a nice button that's kind of hard to press, and this will stay anywhere, which is a very good feature as well. Decently deep cargo space in here. We have a USB-C and another USB-C labeled 1 and 2. This armrest is very squishy and comfortable. You can slide forward, but then you don't get your drinks. This armrest on the door side, though, is not so comfortable. It's pretty hard. Our backup camera has heli modes. So you have front with a 360. Every mode here has trajectory. You have rear, side, panorama front, Porsche stuff, panorama rear, and top, which is a 360 from the side, and you get the whole trajectory on both sides. Not too grainy, not too distorted. Really appreciate this one. Taking this for a little drive around town, see how it does. Go over this pothole on purpose. Didn't feel it. Got another one coming up right here. I'm gonna go over on purpose just to see how it's fine. You notice that it's a pothole, but it doesn't kill you. Nice sharp turning, which is convenient at low speeds. Engine start stop saves you a little bit of MPG. Averaging around 19, which is what it said I would. Not phenomenal. Give it some gas. It's eager to go. It's got a little bit of torque down low. A lot of imperfections in this pavement, and again, you notice them, but it doesn't beat you up by any means. It's a pretty stable, yet forgiving chassis. The brakes are not too grabby, but they definitely have you. Here to protect and serve, like a noble knight. Isn't too much pitch when you try to stop or go quickly. There's a lot of stop and go here. We get a lot of traffic in New York. Very little of it is fun. So it's important, if you're going to live around these parts, to have a car that can handle the city. Imperfect roads, gas mileage, noise, turning radius, things like this. You don't always consider them when you rip a car around on your test drive, but you want to think about what it's going to be like every day with these cars. are going to turn our traction control all the way off. And we are going to go into sport. And we're going to give this guy a little bit of distance. This is an automatic mode, not manual. And then we're going to step on it. Oh. And I heard the little burble coming out the back. A little bit of farting action. Woo. Didn't expect that from the base model. Oh. Immediate shifts. Let's see how it does on the downshift. Whoa! This PDK is just how they said it would be. It's a breath of fresh air. It does everything you ask it to, and it does it when you ask it to. Speeds, not revving it out very high. Is it an annoyance? Is it pleasurable? Well, it's fine. Luckily, I have this auto brake hold where if I press the brake all the way down, I can take my feet off of the pedals, which is a very nice feature. Press the gas, it re-enables. It turns the engine on and off at stop, so you can save a little bit of MPG. Steering is still fine at low speeds. Easy to maneuver in tight areas. This tight turning radius, especially for a crossover. The brakes are not too grabby, they don't beat you up or pull you around. The chassis stays relatively stable. There isn't a lot to hate here. It's quiet, the NVH levels are pretty good. Can't hear this bus next to me. And I can use adaptive cruise control at just about any speed. And let's just see how this turning radius is real quick. Not bad. Wait for this G-Wagon to go. Very cool. Get a little on-ramp action with the sport mode on and the traction control off. Ooh, the paddle shifters feel great. Some kind of aluminum material. Here we go. It shifts. You click it shifts. You click it shifts. On the downshifts too, it just picks right up. It's really crazy. What a fabulous transmission. This PDK is everything you want. A lot of people say it lacks drama, but that's just not the case. Giving you what you want when you want it is not lacking drama. And this car just handles beautifully in the turns. Weights up really nice in the steering. It holds flat. It's everything that a crossover shouldn't be. It's just lovely. Alright, well, we've demonstrated that this can get up to speed pretty damn quick. 5.5 seconds. Now let's take it easy. We're going to turn the sport mode off. We're going to turn traction back on so we can re-enable the PSM. And we are going to try the adaptive cruise control and see how it does. Oh, the steering on this is so tight. If you don't pay attention, you go right out of your lane right quick. So I'm going to tuck the car behind this Ford ever so delicately. I'm going to pull this stock on the back of the steering wheel, push it forward, and now I have it set to 3 car lengths. Let's see how it does. Now this car does not steer for you. It has lane change assist, which is lane keep assist. They just call it that at Porsche. And lane change assist doesn't help too much. It doesn't even really pull you back in that well. It's just a thing. So now we can use the same stock. There's a switch on it to get us a bit closer to that car. And it should take us there. By the way, ever since I pushed that stock forward, I have not been on the gas or the brake. I have been holding the lane though. feels just fine. It basically feels like a cruise control because I'm not that close to that car. Let's see what happens when I get a little bit closer. Now I am on the gas. This thing is great. Alright, it's still on. I did not disable it or anything. It senses that we're closer to that car. It backs off a little bit. And it has me around 60. This is what it registers as one car length. It won't let you go any less than that. Now I've used it in the Audi system in my other video, in the A6 Quattro S-Line, and it did pretty well. I was very impressed, as I was with the steering assist, which this does not have, being a base model. And this makes it a lot easier to cruise. You can use this on a long road. Now that that car disappears, let's see if it pulls me a little bit closer to this pickup truck. Not really. Feels just about the same. Putting a little bit of gas, but only because we're on an incline. Alright, we are getting closer indeed. Let's see how it handles it. My foot is hovering over the brake just in case. But this is one car length, and it seems to be doing quite well, so I'm impressed with that. What happens when I try to change lanes with this on? Didn't prevent me, didn't do anything like that. And then it resumes the cruise control. So when you're not super close to a car, it's basically a regular cruise control, but it has that adaptive capability in case you're getting just a little too close. So that was fun. I'm going to disable that. Off. And now I'm going to take over back into sport with the traction control on. And then I'm going to shift. This car lets you redline. That's a lot to ask from a base model of any car. That is really nice. I'm coming hot on this Genesis. A lot of this is coasting because you get up to speed so fast that you can't really put the brake pedal down, the gas pedal down anymore, because then you're just going to get a speeding ticket. When you put this car into sport, a valve opens on the left tailpipe that allows for a little bit throatier of a sound. Goes all the way down now. Wow. Oh my god. You don't feel like you're going 100 miles an hour, but you are. What a special thing, huh? At first I was asking myself, well, why would you get this instead of a fully loaded Genesis GV70 3.3T or something like that? You get a lot more features, it's equally luxurious. But this transmission and engine, even though it's not by any means their star engine, it's just great. I'd be happy to have this any day. On the brakes, the brakes are really comfortable. They are immediate, not in a grabby way, but they are immediate. Get off here. So you don't have any dead space in it, no mushiness, and they're not too grabby, and they feel mechanical yet electronic. They're well thought out, no question. The turn stocks, all the stocks are just so premium. Traction control off, manual mode on, and when we get our opportunity, we'll let her rip. Please do not sue me, Beyblades. I hear they're coming out with a Beyblades movie. Would it be weird if I saw it? Nah, hell, I don't care, I'll see it. Alright, let's see what it can do. Stays so planted, and it revs out if you have it in manual shift mode. If you don't, it doesn't. It auto upshifts for you. I have so much confidence in these turns, and I keep my lane so well. The steering is direct. There's no understeer. No understeer. Power right through here. Oh, beautifully handled. And the traction just keeps and keeps and keeps. Oh, wow. And it doesn't require a lot of correction in the turns. You can keep your steering wheel pretty much as is. The shifts are immediate. There's no delay on the upshift or the downshift. And I don't know how it's working its magic, but the car stays flat. But my, oh my. Do I have a suggestion for you? I think my friend in the Hyundai over here has a good idea of what to be doing. Oh, and then transmission just listens to me. I say do it, it says when. No, I'm kidding, it says now. Oh yeah. Was that a Hyundai Venue? Fun little racing partner over there. It's quiet. You don't hear too many cars whooshing around. The NVH is decent. The chassis is rather stable. It really is. It feels like an Audi. It's a Porsche, but Porsches are Audis. There you go. And Audis are Volkswagens. It's like having a driving instructor. You just follow them. They'll show you what to do. Just keep following the Hyundai Venues, everyone. Yes. It's like that tutorial in Forza where it's like, follow me as best you can. You're new with the controls. You're like, I'm gonna do my best. The amount of torque is just right. It's not enough to make you sick. It's not even close to that. It's just your companion. Just here to give you a little nudge from the back to say, hey, I'm still here. You're getting a little bit more acceleration. Trying not to keep it boring for you. You can get excitement through the rev range, any speed. And it's fantastic. I would happily have one of these. Might get this used low-key in a few years. Maybe they'll add auto steering and I'll find a nice package like that, because that's all that's really missing for me. Sound system's good, NVH is good, the driving is fun. It's got the 360 camera. It's got ventilated seats. It's got the stuff I need. It's got a classy appeal. It's not flooded with options, but it's got a panoramic sunroof. These brakes are just everyone's best friend. And then I can press my foot in for the brake hold, take my feet off the pedal, shimmy around on those long road trips. Wow. If you're looking at one of these, look at the Genesis GV70 3.3T and get one of the two. Genesis has more features, but this is just such a pleasure to be in. These brakes are so good. You can get into some trouble, and then it's all okay. Got a new high score today. But yeah, the automatic shifts, they're pretty good. It's more fun to shift with the paddle shifters because you have such an immediate gearbox and transmission that it makes no sense not to use it. But you actually can do that in sport. You can still shift with these. It just won't hold the gear for you. It will auto upshift instead, which is fine. Everything has its time. You want to turn that off, you press the manual button, boom, holds your gears. All Gucci. This engine's exciting. I know it's nothing special. It has very similar horsepower and torque figures to much less exciting engines, such as the Pentastar V6 that I reviewed, but because of this transmission, it's able to get that immediacy, it's able to deliver, it's able to give you what you want. And I know this is a Porsche, but I'm really not asking for much more. This is enough. And I was literally just about to give the car back, but I forgot about one thing. Boom. The heated steering wheel button hidden conveniently behind the steering wheel. I don't know why. I've been told it doesn't get that hot, but who cares when you win the Porsche? You win the Porsche. Hey, I got another Macan over here. Car handles traffic quite well. You can hard press your foot onto the brake pedal. You get this auto hold. You don't have to keep your feet on the pedals, which is quite nice. Kind of move around, do what you need to do. Stretch them out, prevent that Charlie horse. You know it's good. Then when you want to go, all you have to do is put your foot on the gas. It'll deal with the rest. You don't have to disengage or anything like that. Too bad you don't have the turning radius of a Porsche Macan 2022 base model. It's got a good amount of torque down low. Pulls you back in your seat just a bit. Paired with this almost immediate transmission, nothing can hold you back. It's quiet enough to handle traffic. You don't really hear much going on around you. It doesn't soak up the bumps, but it mutes them pretty well. So you feel them, but it doesn't hurt. Doesn't send any shock waves. The brakes are pleasant. They're very firm and capable, while at the same time not throwing you around because they're too grabby. One of the better executions of a brake pedal I've felt, period. I would say, in one word, luxurious. That is how I describe this brake pedal and a lot of this driving experience. It stays surprisingly planted for such a tall car. This chassis stays planted and flat around turns. Steering is sharp, accurate, on point. And the clearance is good. It's all-wheel drive. It's a good all-rounder. And the rear-wheel drive bias is enough to help you have fun and enough to be safe. So you get a little bit of both worlds, which is, I think, how a lot of people are thinking about their cars. If you could have one car, this is a great car to have. I love the 2022 Porsche Macan. I would get this as is. I like the wheel upgrade. I like the adaptive cruise control. I would probably add the steering assist. But all in all, great package. Well, this was my day in the 2022 base model Macan. Overall, I think that this is a great car. I would happily have this car. Price is a little bit steep, but there's a lot of fun to be had, a lot of safety, and a very luxurious experience overall. Classy option.